Welcome again to Highly Questionable. Dan Lebitard, Poppy Lebitard, and Stu Gatz from the radio show ESPN Radio every day, 10 to 1 Eastern. What do we have on the show today, Stu Gatz?
We're going to discuss why the Warriors should sit Steph Curry until the Western Conference semifinals, and I'll tell you why Urban Meyer is a complete jerk.
Wow. Vamos, Poppy.
Should the Warriors rest Steph Curry until his ankle is 100%, even though it is the playoff?
I know this blasphemes against the gas bag handbook that I consult every morning, but you know what? I might want to defer to the doctors on this one and just take what their opinion is about whether or not it can get worse. What I like better about the Steph Curry story is the idea that he is pleading and begging to get back in the game, and Steve Kerr's, nope. You have to consult with me, and I've got veto power on this. Usually it doesn't work quite that way with the superstars, but they're going to protect him from himself on this one.
Well, Dan, this question would suggest that the playoffs have already started. They haven't. They start in a couple of weeks with the second round, and no need to consult a doctor because Dr. Gatz is right here. You sit Steph Curry. You do not play Steph Curry for the remainder of this series against the Rockets because you don't need Steph Curry to beat the Houston Rockets. James Harden is not going to play defense regardless of who Golden State trots out there.
I do think this part's interesting, though, if you're Houston. Think about this. If you're Houston and he does play, do you tell your guys, hey, slide a foot under him on jump shots? Do you tell your guys, don't roughhouse with him, just be around physical around that ankle because you short-circuit one of the best teams we've ever seen by merely hurting the foundation on which all of this is built, which is his flimsy ankle.
I don't even think that's a question. I think it's a valid point. And if I were coaching that team, I would just tell them, go hurt that guy's ankle.
Okay.
That guy hurt his ankle.
All right.
Are you a doctor?
I mean, man.
Yeah, well, I tell you what.
You didn't know that?
Well, wait a second. I got a rush here in the back.
Look out, more than you asked for.
Should Stan Van Gundy be more concerned with LeBron getting the calls or Reggie Jackson going nuts?
Shouldn't he be concerned about both of these things? Does he have to be more concerned about one than the other? Look at this here. This is Stan Van Gundy. Rare, wired for sound, sideline interview that's actually interesting. Look at this at the end of the first quarter.
A couple calls have upset our guys. You know, they've got to understand LeBron's LeBron. They're not going to call offensive fouls on him. He gets to do what he wants. They got to understand that.
Okay, good advice there. Just accept, be resigned to your fate. Reggie Jackson was emotional toward the end of the game. This is really bad timing by Reggie Jackson. He was fouled, but, oh, yeah, that's not the situation to do that in. I mean, there's your technical foul. What Stan should be most concerned about is his team is really bad at threes. They made a bunch of them yesterday, and they lost anyway.
Yeah, no question about it. But, Dan, Stan knows this, okay? He's an experienced NBA coach, so he knows. And I think part of him, I think he was partly being serious where he's saying, listen, LeBron's just going to get those calls. He needs to be more concerned about Reggie Jackson being a knucklehead. Stan's trying to win this series, at least push this series to a 6th or 7th game. And Reggie Jackson has not earned the right to get those calls late in playoff games. LeBron James has, as much as it pains me to say that.
Well, I can tell you one thing. The only ref that stood up to LeBron was Joey Crawford, and he's no longer in the league. He got his out of a couple of games, you know, in the playoff because he fought him out. He was the only guy. When LeBron complained, he just looked at LeBron, and LeBron very quietly, he went to the end of the bench, and he sat there.
Okay.
That's right. So bring back Joey. We want Joey back. 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 We want Joey back.
I mean, do you know how much he hated Joey Crawford because he did that to LeBron? It's the only reason he remembers his name. Okay.
Bring back Joey back.
Okay.
Bring back Joey back.
All right, changed it now.
Is Walton getting too full of himself, reportedly rejecting the Knicks coaching job?
He is a Knicks fan, even though he doesn't want too many of you to know it, and he's denied the allegiances over the last couple of years of suffering. But no, I say Luke Walton's in a prime position here to get a good job, to wait for a best job, and the Knicks are an unholy mess, and I'm not sure I'd want to take this for anything more than money, and he doesn't really need the money because he's a former player. So I would wait out a good job instead of this one, which is the one that's available.
Dan, I think Phil Jackson is too full of himself thinking that Luke Walton would actually want to come and work for Phil Jackson and coach this team. I mean, you started your coaching career with a 39-4 record. There are better jobs out there. But when you start 39-4, you'd like to parlay that into something more than coaching Robin Lopez.
Well, how about this, too? Alvin Gentry is the recent example. You need to be careful with this. Alvin Gentry left the side of that team, went to New Orleans, joined an Anthony Davis, and it was a disaster this year. You got to be careful. Sometimes it's more important to pick the right landing spot than what you do when you get there.
Well, it doesn't sound like a bad deal to me. You sign a 5-year deal, you coach 1 year, you get your fired, and you collect for 4 years. That's a hell of a deal,
That's true.
Derek Fisher just did that, right?
That's
That's right. Yeah. In fact, ask for 7 years and only work 1. That can work out.
You saw about Meyer being a jerk about Cardell Jones.
A jerk. He's being honest. He's being somewhat publicly critical, talking about his accuracy in a way that's not terribly flattering, talking about him not being real interested in school as well. Is he being a jerk? I guess this kind of publicly honesty isn't really necessary. It does nothing but harm Cardell Jones. It's not helping anybody as far as I can tell.
So he's being a jerk.
Okay.
Okay, so a kid went to school there and helped him win a national championship, and now that kid has decided to go to the NFL, and Urban Meyer should be helping him, not hurting him. This hurts Cardell Jones. It's not surprising coming from Urban Meyer, who, in my opinion, is a jerk.
Oh! That's it. Wipe.
Coming up next on Highly Questionable.
Look at him.
You got to tell me where you bought that tie.
Sir,
Where you buy that tie?
what I bought this tie at?
Where do you buy it? Huh?
J.C. Penney's.
sorry. Oh, J.C. Penney's. Okay, that's a store I go very often. I got to look for that type of tie. My Son's TV show is brought to you by the all-new LG G5. Life's good when you play more. Joining us at the beach today is Shaq Lawson.
He's supposed to go high in the draft, played at Clemson. Stugotz has to go to the bathroom. We're going to do this by ourselves. At what age would you say that you became a man? At what age were you?
I say I became a man. I say my junior year, going into my senior year, I was doing spring with my dad. I got killed in a car accident. It just made me step up in a lot of ways. Because I knew I had younger brothers and sisters to look after us. So that's really a no. I had to change my step, like to become a man, and had to change my not being a big brother into now being a father figure. No.
How does this happen? You wrote for Bleacher Report about talking to your father right before he passed away after the car accident. How do you not carry around with you immediately after that happens a burden, a darkness, a bitterness where you're mad at the world because you've been given a responsibility too early in life?
I wasn't mad at the world. I knew God had a plan, but the night when it happened, I just thought I was dreaming. I feel like I was dreaming for about a week until I realized this was really happening. I had got the call. Me and my sister had got the call. Something just, before they had left, I was supposed to went with them, but something just told me to stay home, and I just had a feeling like something just told me to stay home. About a couple hours later, I had got the call. My mom had called my sister and told them they had been in a car accident. I didn't think too much about it. I just like, oh, they probably just got beat up. Ain't nothing too bad. So we had got to the scene, and we could tell it was a bad wreck. We was just all very backed up, and we had to run up to the scene. It was about a mile we had to run up to, so blocked off. I got up there, seen the car flipped over. See my mom in the ambulance getting taken care of, and something just told me to look on the ground, and I just seen my dad just stuck in the car. I went over there and talked to him a minute, and just told him, he just told me to go make sure I take care of my brothers and sisters and lead by example. After that, I went over across the street. I think I called my AAU coach at the time and was telling them what happened, and we thought he was going to be all right, thought he was just going to be paralyzed because he was stuck in the car. We called all the hospitals, and we couldn't find him at all. And then, so that's when I had got back home, and I was just sitting there, and I noticed a lot of cars started pulling up at my house. And I knew something was wrong at the time, and that's when they told me he was killed.
I don't know how someone doesn't break in that situation, how you're not completely overwhelmed. You're delivering the details sort of matter of fact, and I just don't know how a kid your age isn't broken by something like that. Or I guess your brothers and you couldn't, right? You had to be there for the family.
Yeah, I couldn't. I had to be there for the family. I really haven't really told this story until this year. I really wouldn't sit there and talk to nobody about it. Every time somebody bring up about my dad, I just didn't want to hear it about it at the time. But I feel like I needed to share my story at this time and let people know what I've been through.
Why do you feel the need to do that? So that they know that you're strong, that you have an uncommon toughness? What is it? Why is there a need to share that?
Oh, yeah, they know I'm a strong person, and in adversity, you can handle anything. God put you in, did that for a reason. I wouldn't have probably, if that wouldn't have never happened, I probably wouldn't have been sitting here today. Probably wouldn't have grew up as a man. Probably wouldn't have did the things I wanted to do. I'm being successful now. So I think God had a plan. It still hurt me to this day because I know next Thursday, on draft day, I know it's been 5 years since she's been killed. So it's just going to be a special day for me and my family, and an emotional day too when I get my name called.
Hold on just a second. We're going to change camera angles to get my dad involved here. Give us just a second.
Shaq.
What's up? How
What's
you
going
doing?
on?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Look at him.
You got to tell me where you bought that tie.
Sir?
Where you buy that tie?
What I bought this tie at?
Where do you buy it? Huh?
J.C. Penney's.
Oh, J.C. Penney's. Okay, that's a store I go very often. I got to look for that type of tie.
Yes, sir.
Shaq, my father wants in on the fun. Go ahead, Papi.
Hey, Shaq, what is the most embarrassing moment you have had in a football field, in a game?
Oh, I say Coach Sweeney dance moves, man. It was just terrible.
They're terrible.
They
They're
were
terrible.
bad.
They're terrible. Yeah, they're terrible. You could say it now. He can't make you run sprints. I mean, he can't dance.
So I'm going to say it now.
All right. Yes, embarrassing. You were embarrassed for him. We understand. Shaq, thanks for being on with us. We appreciate it, sir.
Gracias, Shaq.
Thanks for having me.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Hey, Mohey. Hey, hey, Mohey. Hey, 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 Mohey.
Let me hear you say, Doodle Brown.
Doodle Brown.
Doodle Brown.
Doodle Brown.
Doodle Brown.
Doodle Brown.
Highly questionable is broadcast from the Clevelander Hotel on beautiful South Beach, Miami. Time to play the game that can smell fear.
Oh, wow, really?
Do you question?
You give us topics and events, we question them.
Do you question LeBron's dedication to offensive rebounding?
Okay, what do we have here? I don't think I've seen this. What do we have? Let's see. Offensive rebounding.
James drives, kicks it out. Irving.
Oh, there it is. I have seen that.
You can't do
Yeah,
that.
they're trying to be the Warriors, except
Except that's
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving and not Steph Curry.
you gotta make that shot for him, Kyrie. That is absurd. Put the Bogut up there. Bogut did this so much better than LeBron did.
That's the way it's going to look when he runs away from Cleveland at the end of the season. You know?
Just right out the city, right through all the toll booths, just like that.
Do you question why more teams don't bunt on John Lester?
Oh, are we back with this again? He had trouble with his pickoff throws where he had something short-circuiting in his head. What happened here? Did he take a ball? Someone bunted and he threw it over the first baseman's head this weekend?
One attempt by Barnes. Lester.
He got the out. No, that was totally efficient.
Yeah, but nothing. It's not because of anything Lester did. That's all Rizzo right there.
No, that's
man.
an out. That's perfect. That is one way to make sure you do not throw it over your first baseman's head. Right there.
Just throw it straight into the grass.
Wow.
And based on that, yes, I would bunt on him every single time.
People need to bunt on him a little more.
You know, that was painful to watch, but not as painful as this.
What do we?
Oh, boy.
The 7-putt of Ernie Els.
This is bad, but it's 7 short putts, man.
Oh, Ernie, and this was the first hole of the Masters, right?
This is where it gets ugly. Like, this is where it gets ugly.
This is where it gets ugly?
Like, right here, yes. We'll
Oh,
see.
Ernie. Oh, my God. What is happening? That is unbelievable. That wouldn't happen to a blind person. I'm not even kidding. Oh, Ernie!
Right there, and then
Stop!
Golf is for losers.
Oh, wow.
Hey,
That
whoa.
seems kind of strong.
Yeah, you play golf?
I'm playing golf right after we do the show.
Sorry.
Do you question Beth's priorities?
Beef is his name. I don't know who Beth is, but Beef. Beth seems like a terrible nickname. Beef isn't much better. You don't get these very often in golf. He won something called the Spanish Open, and here's what he had to say afterward.
What does it mean for the family and your friends back home? I'm sure they're going absolutely ballistic right now.
Yeah, I can't wait to get back to North Mid and, yeah, get hammered and see my mum, brother, and spend time with them and just celebrate.
I mean, that's good for golf, right? We need Beef to start winning some more, right? We need a hammered Beef situation running roughshod over all of golf. It'll make everything a little more interesting.
Last week, weren't you clamoring after the Masters? You want a Beef on the PGA Tour. You want a Happy Gilmore, and it appears like Beef is your guy.
Yes, Beef is going to get hammered. Tell me that wouldn't be good for golf right there. That guy winning more tournaments.
Hey, I'm told we got footage of Beef getting hammered.
Okay, let's see.
Really?
Where?
Nice.
Oh, really?
Oh, no.
This seems cheap.
Come on.
That's a bad joke. Okay, there's Beef getting hammered right there. I mean, what is that?
That's Beef getting hammered.
That is. I mean, that's accurate. I'm told we have footage of Beef getting hammered. Stupid.
I couldn't.
Yeah, I know you couldn't get it out because you were too busy laughing, and now you're picking your nose. All right, White. Professional television on ESPN, ladies and gentlemen. The rare thumb stuck up the nose. You don't see that one very often.
Time to play the game that got the Nietzsche souvenir from Coachella. See? Or no?
You tell us what to watch on television tonight. We tell you if we're intrigued.
On NBC Sportsnet tonight, Game 3, Capitals at Flyers.
Sure, let's watch Washington be overwhelming together. They beat the Flyers the other night 4-1. Look at what happens here as they head down the ice. Oh, wow, you cannot allow playoff goals like that. How does that happen? Oh, my God, how did that happen? What happened? What? Oh,
it appears it went through his legs.
Oh, dear God.
How in 5-hole.
Thank you, Stugatz. That
it.
is the 5-hole.
Yes.
That is the analysis. Stugatz, are you intrigued?
I am intrigued. You know, it's funny what we're doing with the Capitals. They're every bit as good at hockey as the Golden State Warriors are at basketball. There should be more excitement about it, but there isn't because it's hockey. But yes, I will be watching tonight.
And because ESPN no longer has the rights to hockey, so we kind of bailed on the sport.
Yeah.
Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. Listen, don't count the Flyers out yet. You know, even though Steve Mason, he had a very difficult game the other night, I'm telling you, he's coming back. He's coming back. He's going to show the hockey world that he's still what it takes, you know. He's in the playoff. I'm telling you now, he's going to take a lot of shots and going to make a lot of saves tonight.
He's the goalie.
Yeah, he's a goalie.
You haven't taken a lot of shots.
Accept a lot of shots.
Oh, you're going to take him in. Okay.
Look, man, his accent, I'm just glad we got through shots without it sounding like something else.
On Comcast Philadelphia tonight, Mets and Phillies.
No, but the voice of kindness and soothing, Vin Scully. This is how bad Ryan Howard's contract is. Vin Scully went after Ryan Howard the other day in a game that didn't even have Ryan Howard in it.
We have a moment while Bruce makes his way to the mound. Among other things, I thought Joe DiMaggio was certainly one of the greatest players that ever played the game. And I can say, having seen Ryan Howard, he is not one of the greatest players to have ever played the game. Howard did tie DiMaggio on home runs, but how about this? In 13 years, Joe DiMaggio struck out 369 times. That's all. In 13 years, Ryan Howard struck out 1,738. Yeah, he replaced Joe DiMaggio. While I think about that, we'll be back.
Wow, the meanest thing Vince Scully has ever said about anybody. Stugotz, are you intrigued?
I mean, I'm intrigued because I'm a Mets fan, but I am wondering, like Vince Scully says that about Ryan Howard, and because he's so beloved, I wonder how Ryan Howard receives it. In fact, I'm guessing he receives it with a smile, right?
No, I think he cries. No, why is that man so mean, that old man? Bobby, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. Listen, Vince Scully's an old guy, and you don't around with an old guy because we tell it the way it is, buddy. That's the way it is. That's it.
All right. There you go. That's the way it is.
Fair point, though.
You need to hit the gym.
Oh, there it is. Telling it like it is. Thank you, Bobby. I appreciate that. A little extra. Telling it like it is.
Is he wrong?
Tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. on the Tennis Channel, the ATP Barcelona Open.
No, but we've got some footage of something here.
You're going no before you even ask me.
You're going no before I even ask you.
6 a.m.
What do we have here? This is Nicolas Almagro. You got to serve. What just happened here? He's distracted?
He's mad at the ball boy, I think.
Is he mad at the ball boy? Is that what happened?
Oh,
wow.
Well,
I missed that.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Okay.
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa.
That is excellent work by that ball boy. Getting up, and you would never know as Almagro stares you down that you had done anything at all. He's already said he's not interested. Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to be glued to that TV set. I'm going to be looking at Nicolas Almagro. He's a hell of a Spanish
Poppy, you
tennis player.
You can't even say it without laughing.
Almagro, I'm
so
telling you, it comes all the way from Spain, you know. I'm telling you,
lost.
The guy is so concentrated.
He lost
and
already.
Yes,
when
he's
that,
lost. He's not in the tournament.
But if it was 6 a.m. to watch ball boys run into walls,
Yes,
would you wake up and
we'd
watch
all
it?
watch
Yes,
that.
I'd be
Yes,
in. In
I'd
fact, I'm
watch
going to
it,
change
yes.
my vote to see.
I'm telling you, I'm going to watch that ball boy at 6 a.m. Make sure that he doesn't hit that wall again. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching.
Talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Gracias. See you mañana. ¿Qué pasa?
Oh, the cops are here, buddy. What is it?
Let's go. Oh, okay. You got to hide. Okay.
Yeah.
Why would you hide and then scream?